What is going on, my friends? I've got my man, John Venus here.
What's up, everyone?
He is a natural vegan bodybuilder just like me. And you went vegan how long ago?
It's about a year and 2 months ago, actually, now.
Really?
Yeah. Time goes by really fast.
It flies, doesn't it? It goes really fast, man. And I went vegan, I think about like 11, maybe 12 months ago at this point. So I thought it was very interesting since we're both here in the same place. He just flew in from Norway, right?
Yeah, Norway, yeah.
I messed it up, bro. You go to so many different countries, man.
Yeah, it's a mess. But yeah, I went from Spain to Norway and then from Norway to here. And
See?
I'm going to go back to Norway. It's a lot of traveling.
I'm telling you guys, it's freaking confusing. I never know where you are, man.
Yeah, enjoy traveling.
It's freaking cool,
It's a
man.
passion.
I'm always jealous when I watch the channel. I'm like, damn, I want to travel more.
Yeah.
You make me inspired to travel. But anyways, point being, I think it's very relevant for both of us to kind of like give our thoughts, our review, our ideas of how like life has changed, how gains have changed, how like our physiques have changed. Everything has changed since being, meat eater and just eating dairy and eggs and all that stuff to switching over to an exclusively vegan diet and still trying to pursue like a bodybuilding style of like physique and fitness and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just interesting. We're just going to riff for probably like 30-40 minutes. This would be like a great thing to watch while you're doing cardio or if you're driving to work or anything like that. You can throw this on in the background. I really like this style of video because we have the ability for you to like just listen and really like the longer videos I think are great for that kind of stuff. So yeah, the main thing that I think I've noticed since going vegan is that I need to eat more food to be the same amount of full. So like when I'm bulking, I feel like I need like an extra 1,000 calories to like continue gaining the same that I used to. And I think it's because of the amount of vegetables and extra fiber and stuff that I have. I feel like my body has to digest it using more calories, and thus I need more calories because I burn them so much.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, for me, it's a little bit different because I don't know. I tend to gain, weight pretty easily, and I'm not as heavy as you are on veggies. So I don't eat like tons and tons of broccoli and cauliflower. I do eat a bit of them and like spinach and stuff like that, but not as much. So it doesn't really fill me up as much. So if I pretty much just eat like loads of grains and legumes, like loads of beans, rice, and that kind of stuff that is really like calorie dense. So then I don't really, it doesn't really fill me up as much. So it ends up being like pretty easy to meet my calorie needs, and it's like really easy to gain weight for me. But yeah, if you eat a lot of vegetables, it's like super, super hard to like eat enough,
Yeah, I think that like the vegan thing is pretty cool if you are trying to like clean up your diet or something like have an inspiration for eating more clean and getting more vegetables and more fiber and things that you before obviously could just kind of forget about because you have like like all these weird little food things, right?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people like just have a little misunderstanding because they think like, okay, I'm vegan, I have to eat vegetables and vegetables only.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people... Yeah, exactly.
I thought that, man. When I was going...
me too.
Like when I first started, the first thing I bought at the grocery store was a pack of lentils. Lentils. Yeah, you remember that? And I was like, this is vegan. Like I thought that was vegan eating. But dude, like everything is vegan. And then there are animal products added to the things that are already vegan. Like all food is vegan, essentially, in the beginning. And then you add like milk.
Exactly,
and then you make like brownies and crap.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not only veggies. And once you realize that, you can play around with everything and you gain weight a lot easier. So I don't know, like I should eat more veggies. But yeah, definitely like if you're eating a ton of veggies, you have to eat like a lot. But on the other hand, if you're someone who... like me, like who enjoys to eat a huge amount of food and like big portions, big meals, I feel it's a huge help.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love eating big ass meals. So that has not changed at all since I've switched over to being vegan.
Right.
Also, something else that I've noticed is I feel like it's super hard for me to hold a huge bloat for a long period of time. Like when I was eating lots of milk or I had lots of protein bars or any sort of like those things that incorporated dairy specifically, I think the dairy had me bloated and it would stay for like 2 or 3 days. Like if I had like a bunch of protein shakes, for example, like not only would my stomach feel like tight and weird and stuff, but then like for the next couple of days, like I would have that bloat. Whereas now it's like I'll bloat for maybe like half a day if I have a ton of sodium the night before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then it goes real fast. Again, I think that has to do with my increased micronutrient like intake and like vegetables and stuff.
Yeah,
like
exactly. No, I think to be really bloated on a plant-based diet, you have to eat a lot of salt, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to, like, a lot of processed food. So if you're choosing primarily like whole foods, it's like almost impossible to get bloated. Seriously. Like, I mean, some people are more like sensitive to, you know, certain types of foods. And if you're not used to certain types of foods, like if you're not used to eating beans or lentils, you know, your body takes time to adjust. So you might like experience some bloating and stuff like that. But, you know, eventually your body adjusts and, you know, it's not a problem anymore.
I definitely try to push the limits with my sodium intake, man. I'm pretty bad with sodium when I'm not worried about the bloat and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm guilty of that as well. So,
do you think that anything has changed in terms of your actual training? Like when you are in the gym, you're lifting and stuff. Does it feel any different? Is it the same? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Like since turning vegan, like every time in the gym when I lift, you know, every rep I just see like happy animals like laughing and like no, I'm kidding. Exactly. No, I don't feel like, you know, any different. And you know, in terms of performance, you know, I do notice that my strength increases a lot faster now compared to when I ate meat. So this past year and 2 months that I've been vegan, I've increased my lifts a lot, especially like bench press and, you know, I don't know, like military press and stuff like that. My lifts have gone up. So, you know, I think because I'm eating a lot more complex carbs, you know, it has some, you know, positive effect on my strength. And a lot of people have actually experienced this. Like my clients always tell me that, you know, they get amazing strength gain straight away. And I'm not sure like exactly the science behind it, but, you know, obviously your muscles need glycogen and, you know, you need carbs to, you know, perform optimally. So that's the main thing that I've noticed, like the increased strength gains. It's like awesome, man.
Like I want to say that I felt more energy when I'm lifting now that I've gone vegan and stuff. But to be fair, I don't think it's necessarily the fact that like that it is vegan. I think that by eating vegan, I've kind of like changed my eating habits and now have like a lot less of the crap that I was having before, like where I would make oats and I'd put like tons of Splenda in it and stuff like that. Or I'd put like a bunch of artificial sweeteners and things that I was drinking, and I'd have a bunch of diet sodas and I'd have lots of more chips and like protein bars. Like protein bars just made me feel like it was the worst type of calorie that I could get in. And now because I eat like so much more vegetables, I feel like I'm like, when I wake up in the morning, for example, I feel like I wake up and then I'm just like, I'm awake. I'm ready to attack the day. Whereas before, sometimes I feel like I was slugging for a couple hours before I like fully woke up.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really, you know, noticed a huge change in energy. I'm always like extremely, you know, I don't know. In the morning, okay, I'm not a morning person.
You're not a morning person.
Exactly. You know this now. But, you know, apart from like the first 2 hours of the day, I'm always like up to everything, like always like energetic and productive and stuff like that. So in terms of energy, like, I mean, it's like, it depends. If you're eating junk food, of course, like you're going to feel tired as shit. But, you know, when I used to eat meat and animal products, I didn't eat like, you know, all kinds of junk. I was eating pretty clean as well. So that in that way, I don't feel like something crazy has happened to my energy levels at all. So in that sense, I can't really say that it has, you know, been different.
Yeah, it changed a bunch.
Yeah.
I would say that with the vegan, the eating plant-based and whatnot, I've noticed that more so than like noticing that like my gains have increased massively or like things have gotten so much easier. Like I'm 9 years into lifting. Like I'm not going to change something and then things are going to massively change a lot. But what I have noticed is that when I went into vegan, like eating vegan and trying it out in the beginning, you know, initially I was just trying it out. I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it. I was really nervous about whether or not I was going to be able to perform at the same level, if I was going to be able to continue gaining strength when I'm bulking, or if I was going to be able to retain strength when I'm trying to cut and keep strength up.
Yeah, I thought I was going to disappear, seriously.
Dude,
I was
for
really
real.
Scared.
Right? Yeah, I was like, I'm going to do this for a month, and then I'm going to be like, this is dumb. But what I've noticed is literally I've experienced no changes at all in terms of like adding fat, gaining, like all that stuff. I feel like it's exactly the same.
It is the same. It's like people get really confused and they think they have to be, you know, do all kinds of research and combine this protein with this protein.
The amino acid combining thing.
Yeah. It's like don't worry about that, you know, seriously, like it's not as complicated as it seems.
It's not
your
a math
body is
class.
like extremely efficient at combining.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to do that. It's like it's nonsense.
Dude, not to mention that when you look at food that's plant-based or vegan or whatever, when you look at the nutrition facts and it says there's 12 grams of protein, that's 12 grams of protein.
Exactly.
It's not 12 half grams of protein that
Yeah.
you have to half add to some other half and then make 12 grams. It's
Exactly.
freaking whole protein. It's not allowed to be on the macro, on the nutrition facts if it's not.
Yeah, and it's absorbed the same way, like maybe a 2% slower than animal protein, which is it's a difference that no one in the world would ever be able to notice anyway. So it's like it's the same way. Everything's the same. If you're used to a certain macro, ratio, if you're eating meat, do the same when you're eating plant-based. It's like nothing changes. It's all the same. Yeah. You don't need to eat like 80% carbs and 10% protein. It's like just do whatever you want.
Yeah, the high carb, low fat thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, HCLF. I get that comment a lot on my YouTube, and I'm like, I understand what you're coming from.
Right, from a health standpoint, I think it's a good way to go about it. It's like it's perfectly fine, but for bodybuilding and fitness, it's I really feel like I need more fats and protein.
Absolutely. Like your endocrine system is ran off of fats.
Exactly.
Like, so if you're severely low in fats, then your testosterone, your natural level is going to drop to a new lower natural level.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like it would be like filling your tank up like 1/3 of the way. Like it's not going to perform at the most optimal level.
Right.
And that's totally chill if you're a chick who does yoga all the time. Like that's your source of exercise.
Yeah.
You don't need your testosterone to be like, "Gah," you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's something that I've always been like, I can't do HCLF, ladies. Like that's awesome that you're enjoying it, but I can't do it. And there's different types of plant-based eating. Like it's totally fine. We're all doing the same thing. Right. We're all doing the same things for like the world and stuff like that, and our bodies and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the soy myth, the soy topic, bro? You know that's a fire topic that everyone's interested in.
Yeah, man. There's some trolls that come to me. Oh shit! I spat all over the place.
Don't worry, nobody saw it. I'm gonna slow motion that though.
Right, so a lot of trolls have come to my channel and being like, "Oh, look, he's got gyno. Yeah. He's got the puffy nipples and
soy
shit like
titties.
that. Yeah, soy titties." Which I don't.
I'm gonna
but
squeeze those soy titties. I'm coming over there.
Exactly.
John Venus.
But yeah, man, it has nothing to do. Like, okay, so basically, studies show that phytoestrogens do not affect the human body. And there are countless of studies like disproving the myth that it will, increase your estrogen levels. So, I mean, really, I've been eating, especially you've been eating a lot of soy as well, right?
Yeah, I go pretty hard with the soy.
Yeah, exactly. And I have, periods of time where I eat a lot of soy and periods of time where I don't, and I don't feel a difference. It doesn't affect your hormones. So, whether it's, healthy or not in other ways, I can't answer that question. But in the sense of like hormones, there's it doesn't touch it, Yeah. And I don't even think it's unhealthy in any way. Like, I don't know. I choose organic just to be safe, just in case, but
as best as it can be. Yeah. There's still like a bunch of weird shit that's going in there.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Anything though, of course. Like if it's mass produced, something's being like shortcutted.
Exactly.
There's a little poop on your soybeans. Then again, I mean, there's a little poop in everything. The little water you drink has a little bit of acceptable filth level in it. Like there's poop in everything.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Vegans eat shit.
What I've noticed is like a lot of people have asked, does it change your strength or anything? Like, because your hormones are supposed to be all crazy. It's going to raise your estrogen and stuff. So do you feel less strong? Do you feel like less of a man? Do you feel weak or tired? I've literally experienced no difference at all, period.
Right.
None. And I go pretty hard with the soy, like you're saying. Yeah. Like I have tons of tofu. The Gardein that you just tried.
Oh my god, guys!
Tell us people what you think about Gardein, because he's from Norway. So in Norway, 0, right?
Yeah, in Europe, it's like the products are pretty limited, and this shit was like, I don't know. It was like eating chicken again, except it was even better than I remember. It was like, man, these products are awesome. Like I don't understand how these companies aren't like multi-billionaires.
Dude,
like,
quote us on this, that those types of companies, especially the ones that are established, they're going to be multi-billion-dollar companies at one point. And the cool thing that I'm excited about with those types of companies is I hope that those companies do so well that they can, because they have so much more money and so much better manufacturing processes and stuff, they can drive the prices down so that it's more like reasonable for people to eat vegan stuff.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people will go to like a Costco or something and they'll buy like an 80 pack of bagel bites. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like super cheap when you compare the calories to price. So then people are like, yeah, man, like if I'm a college dude, like how could I ever not eat this kind of stuff? It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be badass if it was like you could do that at Costco? You could get like 20 pounds of Gardein meat.
Yeah.
And it was super cheap.
Yeah. That's a good topic to touch on, the pricing. You know, a lot of people say that when you switch from, you know, eating meat to vegan, it's going to be a way more expensive. And it depends. Like if you're going to eat like those Guardian things that we're talking about, like, you know, meat replacements and everything, those processed stuff, then yes, it's going to be way more expensive. But if you stick to whole foods and, you know, just eat grains, legumes, for you guys who don't know what it is, it's like, I don't know, just like oats, you know, beans, rice, quinoa, you know, that kind of stuff, and tofu,
potatoes,
man,
literally the cheapest
and
food
veggies,
on the world.
yeah, exactly, and broccoli, cauliflower. You're gonna actually save money. You know, it's really easy to save money eating plant-based if you don't go for the processed stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially if you go to like Costco and buy in bulk, you know, you buy almonds or rice and huge bags of beans.
Yeah.
Like you save so much money.
Yeah, like if like it's put it this way, like if you went and bought Eggo waffles at the grocery store all the time, you're paying like way more than if you just bought flour and made batter and then made pancakes yourself. You could make probably like 15 times as many pancakes as you could eat that you've just purchased in waffles that were pre-made. So like in any diet, because it's not really fair to be like, when you go vegan, it's be more expensive. It depends how you eat. Like you were just saying, like you could be one of those kids who likes to buy a bunch of packaged like wrapper stuff. And I mean, I'm one of those people. I eat a pretty half and half diet between like really great whole foods and then really terrible, like I eat like Cliff Bars every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like those Lenny and Larry cookies. Oh yeah, you had that, didn't you?
Yeah.
How'd you think
mint
about that?
one was amazing. I never tried that one before.
You like
the
it?
Mint, yeah, fuck. It was really good.
It's funny because I'm having fun showing him all this vegan food because
it's like a new world. It's like exploring a new continent or something like that.
It's awesome, man. Because to me, like at this point, I understand. I realize that the rest of the world has a much smaller, you know, choice of different products and stuff that are available to them that are vegan. But like it doesn't really process to me like on a minute by minute basis. So I'm just like, yeah, man, it's not that hard to go vegan. Like,
right, yeah.
It's super easy. You just go to Costco and Target and you pick up like 50 Gardeins and you just freaking have orange chicken, Mandarin chicken, Beijing beef. All that's all vegan. It's all chili.
Yeah.
And then I talk to someone like you and you're like, yeah, man, I eat like tons of beans and rice and stuff because it's a good way to get food in. And I'm like, why don't you have Gardein? Like,
yeah, man. Yeah, seriously, when you have those food choices that taste that good, like it's exactly the same as meat. You know, I wish people in Europe had it because I think a lot more people would, you know, consider trying the diet.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's obviously the reason why so many more people in America are vegan. It's because it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully that'll change with the years. But
and the kind of like like the business side of this is like the more demand there is for it, the more that's available. So it sucks because when you're in a country or state or area where it's not popular yet, it's not going to be popular until it starts getting some traction there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's hard for it to get traction without it being popular and having those products that are available that make it easy to eat. So it's like it almost like everywhere has to start from like the bare bones of plant-based dieting, which is like eating very natural and plant-based and all that healthy stuff, before then there's like a whole community in that area, and then they're like, oh, we should stock Gardein in this Walmart here, or we should stock Gardein in Norway or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like all this the new meat replacement products only like came to the market like really recently. Like I had no idea this stuff even existed. Like I don't know, like 5 years ago, did they even have this kind of stuff? No.
Like, they just had those freaking crappy Boca burgers. That was it. Just the crappy veggie burger that you're like, this is so not a burger. Now the burgers are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're good.
Like the Beyond Meat ones, those are damn good. But I'm telling you, man, those old ones, I had them when I wasn't vegan.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, how could anyone eat this crap on a daily basis?
Yeah.
But like I've had people who come into my comment section, and because they watch my videos and stuff, and I don't really push too hard. Like I just do me.
Right.
And then if you're interested, you're like, oh, I'll try that too. But I'm not like, you need to do this. You need to try this. But I'll have people who are like, oh, dude, I see you eat Gardein all the time, and I see it, you know, when I go in the freezer aisle. So I just picked one up for the hell of it, just to see what the hell you're raving about. And they try it, and then they're like, this is freaking amazing. Like this was better than like the normal dinner that I have. And I'm talking about people who aren't vegan.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty dope, man. Like I really enjoy that too. I don't know why. It just kind of makes you feel a little good about yourself.
Yeah.
When you prepare a vegan dish, don't tell nobody about it. You just give it to them and have them eat it, and they're like, "Wow, man, you're a good cook. This is fire." And you're like, "Yeah, that chicken you're eating isn't really chicken. Sorry, you're eating pea protein and
yeah. People can't tell
wheat.
People can't tell the difference. It's impossible. Like at least on those good products, there are some really bad ones, and in Europe there are some like sausages like
they're gross.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like and vegan cheese that is like made of almonds, and it does. I don't know. It just ruins everything. Because if someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna give veganism, a try," and they pick up that crappy almond cheese, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And it's like it ruins like the chance of them ever giving it a go for real, and that sucks. So I really hope that
That's
those
a good
products.
point. That's a good point, man. Yeah, like when you take that first, like when you're the first company that makes a product, like, oh, I make the vegan egg replacement, and you make it bad.
Exactly.
You're ruining a reputation. Like for some people, they are never going to try that stuff again.
Yeah, exactly. And it's happened to many people. I've heard a lot of people say that they bought this thing and it tastes like ass, and they don't want to taste it again. They don't even want to give veganism a try because they tried one food and it was really bad, and they don't want to hear about it again. So, first of all, like you have to experiment, like try different things as well. But most people won't even give it a shot,
Yeah.
They'll just try one thing, and if it's bad, never again.
Yeah, that's totally true, man. And I think veganism has a bad, or plant-based diet has a bad like rap because beyond like the people and stuff and all that, just literally the food. A lot of people are like, I don't want to give up flavors, bro. I'm not in the mood to stop eating flavors.
Right.
But I think with any product that ever comes out, like when a genre of music first comes out, when a new type of video game comes out, when a new type of movie comes out, whatever it is, whenever anything new comes out, the first couple of tries at that are not the best because after years and years of research and development, everything gets improved with these slight improvements, and then it's an amazing product.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of also have to take with a grain of salt, like that, being the whole vegan movement has been around for a long time, but not until just recently did it actually become something that was viable and mainstream.
Yeah. I mean, 3 years ago, I had no idea what vegan was.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah. I couldn't, like, how now we can name like, oh, there's a YouTuber that's vegan. Here's an Instagram. Here's a celebrity that you watch in a movie. Like I can pick out a million vegan people like Leo DiCaprio, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. I mean, like, even people that, like friends and people that I talk to in the streets, they actually know what vegan is. And that's like a huge change from only like a couple years ago.
Absolutely, yeah, because it was just vegetarian.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so my point being is I think that in the future, as there's more development and stuff, like the whole idea that like you can't have macaroni and cheese that taste the same when you're vegan, that's going to be a thing of the past.
Right.
And that's going to make the development and like the acceptance and the conversion of people that go vegan way higher. Because it's like, why not have, Kraft mac and cheese? Why not have Daya Kraft mac and cheese? You know what I mean? And it has no cheese in it, but it tastes exactly the same as Kraft. You're like,
exactly.
Why not? It's the same price, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you can eat this exact same foods, it tastes exactly the same, but you're not contributing to like, the environmental and ethical impacts of, actually eating the animal products, then I think a lot of people would actually take that choice. Yeah.
And I'd say like right now, it's kind of an arbitrary number to throw out there, but I would say like 70% of the food that I want to have a vegan version of, that I'm like, okay, now I want lasagna right now. I'm just craving that. I used to have it. I used to love it. I'd say about 70% of those things, I can find something that I actually don't think like, oh, I'm just kind of accepting this. I'm
especially
like,
here.
I'm like, this is good, man. Like I just had fish tacos with my girlfriend like a couple weeks ago. They weren't fish. They were like a fish replacement thing that Gardein made, and then we combined it with like vegan sour cream and vegan cheese and guacamole, all that stuff. And it was like I went to a freaking fish grotto restaurant. Like it was not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as it keeps going, it'll become easier for everyone to like try out new things and be like, you know what, this is perfectly fine. Like I have no trouble eating this.
Yeah. And also like supplement companies are all coming with their own like vegan options and vegan protein powders. So it's like happy. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of awakening in the fitness and bodybuilding world as well, and not only for people who are vegan, but people who want to reduce the intake of animal products in their diet, or people who are just who can't actually take dairy because they're allergic to it. But anyways, like it's still nice to see that the fitness industry in particular is like catching on, and there's a lot of people who are like, you know, getting in great shape and, you know, being vegan at the same time.
Kind of disproving the myth.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, the myth has been disproven. Like, it's bullshit, man. Like I don't even like understand that. Exactly. There's so many examples out there, you know, that, you know, you can't really say that it's hard to build or any harder to build muscle, or that it's not possible, as some people still say, to build muscle on a vegan diet. But I think, you know, on the internet, you know, the young people, they kind of like, they're starting to understand and they know what's up. But I think like the people who are like kind of like outsiders, like older people, they still don't, you know, they don't get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. The internet, that's a good point. The social media aspect of everything has made it so much easier for people to accidentally stumble upon information and then spark an interest. Because the only way you would ever find out about veganism before, there was Instagram that would blast a picture into your face immediately, or Facebook, you'd have a post coming up from your friend who happened to go vegan, or whatever. It would be like, you had to be like, I want to learn about veganism. And then you'd have to go to either like newspaper sources or documents or library. Or
never even make the newspaper.
Never, dude. Or you could Google it, but like, because Google was around before social media got big, but still, like, you wouldn't have had that interest, and there wouldn't have been nearly as much information. But even then, there's still like, there was information, but there weren't cool people that you could follow that were doing it. You know what I mean? I think social media is so powerful because of that. Yeah,
I mean, humans were like, you know, we have the need to like, you know, follow different people and look up to different people, and, you know, if there is no one to look up to that is doing that particular thing, you know, there is no point of doing it, because that's just the way, you know, humans are wired. Nature. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just we're like, you know, we like to have like this community, and we like to, you know, look up to people, and, you know, just
that's a good
share the same ideas with
community,
other people.
Dude,
exactly. Community.
Absolutely. People don't know, like, there are certain people who are those trailblazers, the people that don't mind doing something that's risky and dangerous and new, and something they don't know is going to work. Some people are like really into that, and like, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like fully into that, but, you know, I like to do certain things that, like, I don't need someone to have done it before and prove that it can be done. But most people like to have an example or evidence or proof that it does work before they start on it. That way they don't have to have like this nervous fear that it's not going to work or that something's going to go wrong. They can be like, okay, look, John Venus is like 220 pounds. I'm like 150 right now, and he's vegan every day for the last year and 2 months. Like, I can try this for 2 months,
right?
Because he's not withering away. He looks fine. I've watched him for 8 weeks now, and he looks fine from the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like,
that's true.
So like, I think that helped me a lot when I first started with vegan stuff, because there's not too many people to look at right now, but there are a couple athletes. Like there's do you know who Patrick Babouy man? Or
yeah.
I don't know how to Babouy.
Babouy man.
Babou man. But like, there's people like that, and you're just like, dude, that guy's strong as a damn ox, dog. Crazy, and I think that's helpful. Like for me, at least, when it came to the whole switching over and stuff, I had a lot of people to like look at and a lot of information to get from other people.
Yeah, seriously. When I started, there was no one like no one. There was like the Freely and those people
Bicycle
that, you know,
people.
that I don't recommend anyone to watch at all. But you know, there was Vegan Gains.
Damn near choked my water, bro.
Yeah. I think when I went vegan, I think Vegan Gains was just starting out. Like no one knew him. So yeah, like it was unknown territory for me. That's why I was so scared to do it. But it kind of felt cool because, you know, I enjoy like taking risks a little bit and experimenting as well. But not everyone does that. You know, not everyone likes that. So, you know, it's just different people for different kind of methods. But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you kind of just said it right there. With every person, you like to follow different types of people. Like not everybody likes a violent type of person. Not everybody likes like this type of comedy. Not everyone likes this seriousness. But you know, each person has a different type of person they like. So like you were saying, when you started out, you really could only name like a couple people that you really knew were kind of putting out content all consistently and stuff. Whereas now I feel like there's a lot more athletes. Like, for example, if you're a girl, like, and you first started veganism and all you could choose from was like Richard Vegan Gains and Freely the Banana Girl and Durian Ryder the bicycler guy, like, you might be like, I don't know, have anyone to look up to really, because none of these people are really me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, if you're like a little, you're a small petite chick, you can be like, oh, dude, naturally Stephanie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. There are so many channels now. It's crazy.
And then like if they want to watch somebody who's super business oriented, traveling oriented, very ambitious and stuff, boom, got you. If you want to watch like a goofy mother effer who like is very like creative and whatnot, you come to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different personality types to follow now. I feel like it's a lot easier to be encouraged.
Yeah, man. There is some, like right now, it's really interesting. Like it's crazy when it all changes so fast. It's insane. The social media thing, the YouTube, the channels that are coming out. It's like just in 1 year, everything can change. There's like a whole community of vegan.
It's a whole
fitness.
genre that didn't exist.
There's so many like even fitness YouTubers who are like really like small, who are starting out, and it's crazy. Like it's all just growing together, and in 2 years it's gonna be like, I think it's gonna be pretty big.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll build to a pretty sweet level. And the social media is the reason that it will not fall off.
Exactly, yeah.
Because, if this guy has 100,000 likes per photo, you can be guaranteed that 2 years from now, he's not going to get 100,000 likes per photo. He's going to get 2, 3, 400,000.
Right.
And if he's staying with the same message, then that message goes out to 4 times the people.
Yeah.
And then you multiply that by obviously bazillion freaking like content creators.
Yeah.
Going back to the bodybuilding stuff, have you found it more difficult to eat your protein minimums a day? Have you found it more hard to get your protein in per day? Because that's a question that is always asked.
I mean, if you're eating like tofu or like the meat replacement stuff, then there is absolutely no problem. It's super, super easy. The problem is that a lot of people just, think that they need a lot more protein than they actually need. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most like... The mistake that a lot of people make, and because those bros online, they say I'm eating 250 grams of protein a day, 300 grams. It's like, no guys, seriously, that's just gonna fuck up your your whole body. Like you don't need that much, and there are so many studies out there. They're not very good studies that compare exactly what the optimal amount of protein that you need for optimal muscle building. There are no studies like that pinpoint exactly how much protein you need for optimal muscle building, but it's definitely not that much. And I've seen like studies that say that there was no difference between a group that ate I think it was 0.6 grams of protein compared to a group that ate 1.5
per pound or kilo
per pound. Yeah, so there's no difference there. So you don't need that much protein, seriously. And 0.6 is what I go for because it shows that there's the same results. So why like kill myself for like trying to get more unnecessary protein when you don't need to. So
absolutely,
like
what's that really equate simple to for you? How much? What's that equate to for you right now? Like what's 0.6 grams per pound you?
Yeah, it's like 140 grams of protein, more or less. 150 grams, yeah.
That seems to be like perfectly fine for me too. Yeah. I've been going between 140 and 160.
Yeah.
That's
about more than enough
the entire time. And I feel like a lot of people do this, man. They watch videos where people put out studies all the time, and so then they get in this idea that everything that is ever stated has to have a study behind it. And not everyone that does studies is interested in proving the same points that you're trying to prove.
Right.
I think that everybody is different, and studies can only go so far. Even the ones that are really well done, like every person is different. Every person who has a different ethnicity is different than the other person who weighs in his height. Say like everything's the same stuff. So I think it's valuable to research, look into studies. But if there's not a study, or if maybe there's not a lot of studying, just anecdotally figure it out. What I mean is try it out.
Exactly.
Because like I didn't read research, to be honest. Like when it came to my protein intake, I just kind of winged it. At first I went really high, and then as I was going, you start because and then as I was going, I was like, I'll go 170 now instead of 200 just because it's gonna be a little easier. We'll see how it goes. No difference at all.
Yeah.
Go down to 160, 150. Now I've been able to go 145, 140 is my minimum, and that's still really high, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
And me and Chelsea had a whole conversation about this because way back in the day, me and her had this conversation. It was really funny. She was like, I don't eat that much protein. I don't think you need as much protein as you think, Brian. And I was like, Chelsea, listen to me. You don't know what I need in my body. I need at least 250 grams every day.
Yeah.
You don't perform at the same level that I do, Chelsea. You're not as big as a person as me. I have a lot more muscle furnaces. Just like a complete asshole, and just like shutting down her her whole philosophy on this. But now it's been proven because I've tried out her tactic there, and it's actually true. We need so much less protein than we think.
Yep.
If you're eating like in a deficit and you're like for example, if you're eating like 1,000 calories less than your maintenance, it doesn't matter. Like I think you're gonna lose muscle if you're doing that, no matter what. Even if you're getting 200 grams of protein, but you're so far in a deficit, you're gonna waste away some muscle. So, like, don't attribute that to the fact that you need billions of grams of protein. Like, you also need to eat your adequate calories. It's not like the protein's going to save your life.
Right. Calories are more important than macros, like,
pretty
in
much
general.
anything, right?
Yeah.
So in summary, I think in general, I'd say almost nothing has really changed in my bodybuilding, in my physique, in my progress. But then also, almost nothing has changed in my real life too. It's been generally pretty easy to replace certain things I wanted to do. For me personally, I know this is not the same for you and other people in other countries, but it's been very easy for me to still go out and eat, as a lot of restaurants will have something there that's like vegetarian even, and then you're just like, just don't put the cheese in there too, and then you can turn it vegan. Even the fast food places here have vegan options and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So like I honestly, the whole idea of that veganism like impedes on your life, makes it harder, it makes it less like enjoyable. I honestly enjoy life just the same.
Yeah.
And feel good about it.
Yeah, exactly the same for me. And the one thing that I would like to add that I didn't mention is that I was actually, the first year the first 6 months, let's say the first 6 months that I went vegan, I actually I gained so much weight. It was insane. Like I put on, I have no idea. Okay, it's probably because I was eating the pizza like without the cheese and everything. I was like eating like proper like bad foods. But yeah, like a lot of people think it's very hard to gain weight, but it's not. But I also gained a lot of muscle mass, which is something that I didn't touch upon. I actually, I can see a noticeable difference from 1 year ago to now, and you can check it out on Instagram or YouTube videos. And that's a cool thing. Like, it just proves that it doesn't matter like where the protein comes from. It's protein is protein. Yeah. So, yeah, I was building, even faster for some reason. I think it was the increase of carbs. It's not that the plant protein is better than the animal protein or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, just the complex carb amount that I was consuming just helped me perform better in the gym, and probably just helped me, get more muscle gains.
Yeah, I think your physique has gotten way better since I first started watching.
Yeah.
Like you've gotten much more size, and I mean at this point you're like full bulked up, but you're like
fat,
freaking thick when it comes to the muscle. It's awesome. It looks really cool, man.
Yeah. I'm doing my best.
I'd say I just came up with this. The thing that was the hardest with the vegan transition, and this is something that like for a lot of people is going to be very difficult too, is when you first switch over, you're in untreaded territory for yourself. You've never tried it before, so it's very very hard for you to think like second nature. Think of foods to eat. Like when you go to the grocery store and you're hungry, I'm sure you have 6 different options immediately as soon as you come in there. You're like, oh, I could have nachos, and I could have popcorn, I could have a sandwich, I could have a friggin', you know what I'm saying? Whereas when you go in there the first time when you're vegan, the first couple times, you don't have those instantaneous thoughts of what foods you can run to. So that would probably be the hardest thing for me in the first probably 3 to 4 months, was just kind of like going in there thinking that I had no real variety, and then going for kind of the same thing over and over. I'd just go for lentils over and over. I'd go for like tofu and over.
Yeah.
I never tried like the tempeh and the seitan. I was just like, whatever. I don't know what that is. And I feel like it's like with anything, man. The first 6 months, first year, you're starting out playing a new sport or whatever. You suck. You just suck at it. You're not very good at it, and you try your best, and you fail a little bit sometimes. And you think you're not doing very good at it and stuff. But as you go, you start picking up like little tiny tips. You're like, damn, I really like, for me, tempeh. I just tried it recently, and now I'm like obsessed with it. And then that becomes like something that you just like, that is amazing. It's just in the back of my head. It's something I can always go to and eat. And so like as you go, I feel like you build a repertoire, like an arsenal of different foods.
Exactly, to choose from.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of people, like me especially, like I remember so well. It was like walking into the grocery store, to the supermarket, and I was just like lost. I was just like staring at, am I gonna get the lettuce or the spinach today? It's like, that was it. I was walking around in circles, like really like completely lost, not knowing like what to pick. What was there? Checking all the labels. It was stressful, and I understand that a lot of people are put off by this, but like you said, once you're used to it, once you find the foods that you like and you try everything, you kind of like you build up the like you said, your arsenal. So you can have those staples to your diet that you can consistently use again and again to optimize your performance and whatnot.
When you're first starting out with a vegan diet or the transition to a plant-based diet, I think a really, really valuable tool is just watching the vlog of somebody who is vegan.
Full day of eating
shows you the full days of what they eat.
Yeah.
Just blow through a bunch of their videos. You don't have to watch them all the way. Just keep skimming until you see the food and be like, okay, cool. And
there's so many now though. Like when I started, I wish I could see the full day of eating videos. Like seriously, that would help me so much.
Right.
And now, like you type vegan day of eating or what I ate in a day vegan or whatever, there are hundreds and hundreds of videos out there for you to check out.
Yeah, when you first start out, you do not need to stress about trying to figure out what to eat. Just go look around YouTube, and they will give you so many choices. And
exactly. Use the tools that are in your hand, in your power to use. Like YouTube is like the best thing that you can find information in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The parting tip that I'll give you, and hopefully people will like snap me later and be like, dude, that was so helpful of you. Like, I'm so glad you said that in that video. When I don't know how it is in other countries, but when you're here in America and you turn around whatever product it is and you're looking at the nutrition facts, look at the ingredients, and then under all the ingredients themselves, here in America, legally, we have to write made with milk, soy, nuts, and some other stuff. And it's all because of allergies.
Right.
But that way, it's so much, instead of having to look through each ingredient and not knowing what really is or is not animal-based, just look at the end of the ingredient list and see if it has with dairy, made with milk, made with meat, things like that.
Yeah, it depends. In Europe, it depends a little bit. But yeah, they put the letters like milk and everything that you can be allergic to in bold. So it's like bold letters.
Same here.
So it stands out. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's the same. It just depends a little bit on the product. If it's imported from Asia or something, it probably doesn't have it. Yeah,
it could still have that stuff and not say
exactly,
made with.
So, but yeah, that's a really good tip actually. It saves you a lot of time.
Dude, it saves me.
I was reading everything in the start. I was like going crazy, man.
Right, and you don't know what everything necessarily is and stuff. But
I felt like a madman. I was like reading, like everyone was like, I can imagine all the people like the workers like just look at me reading everything, like all the products and stuff
for like 5 minutes, just like putting it back on the shelf, opening another one.
Really serious face, just like,
God, these beans vegan.
This guy's got a problem.
So I think that sums it up pretty well. In general, like my progress has been all the same. I feel like you can make the same progress that you've always wanted to make, you've been making. I feel like you can switch the food and it'll be no problem, other than just in general getting used to it. But as far as performance, optimal gains and stuff, I think it's all the same.
Yeah, all the same, and if not even better for me. But yeah, guys, the only thing that I wanted to say is like you don't lose anything or trying, You know, me and Brian, we're not like people who are like pushing, veganism and telling you what to do and what not to do. Like that's not what we're about. You do what you want to do, but there is no excuse. And I recommend trying something just to. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have to make the full change or whatever. But like just giving it a try. Just try eating this way for 2 weeks, see how you feel, like, and keep the macros the same and do your lifting routine and everything just as an experiment, and you'll see like, and then you'll be able to, see if you feel better or if you feel worse or analyze the results and everything. And who knows, you might enjoy it a lot and stick with it and just find out that that's the right diet for you. So I don't know, I think my parting words are just like, why not just give it a try? You're not going to lose anything. Definitely not muscle mass.
Powerful advice, no doubt. In life, period, you should always try things, because if you don't, then your mind and your perspective will always be close to whatever that thought was that you didn't try. So you should always try everything so that you can have the widest understanding of everything, no matter what you do in the long run. But you should always try everything.
Yeah, keep an open mind.
So that pretty much wraps up the podcast here. If you guys have not heard of Jon Venus before, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under or what island you've been scattered across the world on, but you should check out my brother, Jon Venus. His link will be literally the first thing you can click in the description below. So make sure you give his channel a look. If you do like his content, I think his production is extremely cool, which is one of the reasons why I enjoy and appreciate your channel so much, because I'm into the cinematography production stuff, so I can appreciate that stuff. I think you guys should check it out. You'll see what I'm saying, and if you like it, give him a subscribe, dude. Support my man. We're going to be in plenty of videos in the future. A couple years from now, you're going to be like, wow, those guys have been friends for a really long time. That's weird.
Yeah. It's not like my channel is not like a vegan channel or whatever. Like, everyone's welcome. It's just about, being the best version of ourselves and, just aspiring to become better. So, you won't be disappointed with the content.
Very positive, very encouraging, and very ambitious. So if you're interested in making yourself more like that, definitely check them out. Also, make sure to add me on Snapchat, as we are going to be doing some Q&As. I don't want you guys to miss that. So on Snapchat, that is Brian Turner, BrianTurner. I feel like I'm singing right now. On Instagram, it's Thick Solid Tight. On Periscope for live streams, it's Beyond the Week. It's right there behind me. You can see it right there. And if you are interested in hearing the podcasts before they officially come out, because right now I'm stockpiling probably for the next about 2 months before I officially start releasing podcasts every week, you can join the Patreon, which is a way for you to support the channel monthly with like a donation. It helps, it helps us get these equipment things that we have. It helps us produce the channel, helps, trips happen and stuff. Like, he flew here. I would love to fly to him or to other people around the world. It helps support that. And also, you guys will get instant access to all podcasts. So literally every couple of days we're recording new ones. We just haven't released them yet. So if you guys are interested in hearing that stuff, you can donate to the Patreon. But just putting it out there, you totally don't have to at all. You just check it out if you're interested. But other than that, I think it was an interesting talk about the whole. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think we went off topic quite a bit.
We did. That's why I like these, though. I like to talk for a really long time, because you get to discover each topic instead of having to make them concise, short videos. So I think these are more fun to listen to. Yeah,
exactly. It's a lot more fun to just have like a genuine talk. Yeah. Those podcasts that they just go like question and answer is just like too boring. Yeah, and I think this is a lot more fun. I think. Yeah,
it's very authentic kind of conversation.
Yeah, exactly,
You're not like trying to say the right thing. You're just saying things as they come to you. So
just a conversation.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. If there's any point in this conversation that you thought, you could throw in a thought in there and kind of expand on something we didn't quite touch on, I'd love to hear it. I'll be in the comment section answering you guys. I try to answer pretty much as all the comments that I can. Pretty much like 80% of the comments I get back to. So leave the comment down there. I'll get to you. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week. Why are you not saying CT, man?
Oh, shit. CT?
Lift heavy or die, MIRIN, mother.